That's too funny. Well, hello there. Birthday
Hello.
boy.
Yes, sir. Coming up soon.
You have not beaten the jet setter allegations. How was the trip?
It was incredible. I'll be honest. Spent 4 days out in San Fran. It was like 3.5. Got in Thursday afternoon. Kind of chilled. Hit the spot right next to the hotel. And then Friday, did a little exploring, went out to Alcatraz, came back, went to the Warriors game. Steph went for 37. So I asked him to go for 30 for my 30th birthday, and he delivered. Glad I went to the Friday night game and not the Sunday night game, because good Lord, 3 points, 1 for 8 for 3, at least the last time I saw it was brutal.
You said you get one birthday present and one birthday
that
present.
That was it,
only.
Yeah, this isn't the birthday week thing. He said, nah, it's one night. That's it. But then, yeah, just explored the city Saturday on one of those big red bus tours, double-decker bus. You just plug in some headphones. They kind of give you... Oh, yeah. We saw pretty much everything we could see, and if the bus didn't drive by it, we went and saw it Sunday. That's what we did Sunday, was
Nice.
like Lombard Street, the Painted Ladies, the Full House was out there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was sick. It was a good time. Weather was beautiful. It was like mid-50s to mid-60s. But with, like, the wind and it being a valley and stuff, I was going from 3 layers, 2 layers and a jacket, to shit, I'm hot now. I'm down to my T-shirt, to, damn it, 5 minutes later, I'm putting on my jacket again. Like, it was crazy. But no, it was incredible. Lots of views, lots of history there.
So when
Definitely
you
would
go back?
recommend. Who knows? Maybe another Warriors game. Maybe next season. We'll see.
We'll see a little playoff run this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Warriors, I know the Lakers. I think it was the Lakers game which just went. Oh yeah, the Lakers game just went final, beating up on the Mavericks.
Oof.
Luka 45 points.
After getting booted the other day, yeah. I had to expect that.
So, yeah, well, obviously a couple things. I want to kind of not necessarily deep dive, but at least cover the end of that NCAA run for both the men's and the women's side. For congratulations to you, because we do have a champion in the house for the
Let's
Brown.
go. Let's ride. I'm taking home that shopping cart from Winn-Dixie. Needs a little oil. It's a joke from one of our trivia guys. Shout out Steven, fellow Florida State fan. So yeah, I'll be happy. Proud new owner.
It's got your name written all over it.
It does. Both of us chose Duke. Unfortunate Final Four appearance from them there at the end. At least had a great tournament. Just the last 10 minutes of the tournament weren't great. So
I would say even last 5 minutes, like they really stunk it up there at the end.
yeah, it was brutal. But what are you gonna do?
And then obviously on the women's side, I mean, you want to bet against UConn until they lose, right? I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose. That's the proven team, proven coach. Like, is he up there like the best basketball coaches of all time?
I think you can definitely write his name up there, or at least put him on the ballot and throw him in the goblet of fire for that conversation for sure.
Maybe not like Sharpie, but at least pencil him in.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take a pen and you can cross it out later if you want. So,
But the fact that I think the stat was 24 Final Fours
that's
with, I think, 11 or 12 national champions. Like, that's crazy.
yeah. And I saw something that was like UConn owns college basketball between the women and the men's. They've got an insane amount of dubs in the national championship. So it took me forever. You can't find the women's bracket on the app, one of the apps. But
For CBS, it's like you have to go like 3 pages deep before you.
yeah, it's crazy. I pulled it up on my. I had to pull it up on the PC, and I picked UConn. So
Oh,
let's ride.
Yeah, I think again, watching Florida win. It's cool, right? As long as you didn't go to FSU, but I remember like that kind of stretch that 2006, 7, 8. The back-to-back basketball titles. Then you have Tim Tebow, and you win a national title in football, and it's like the crossover from those sports was so cool. Everyone's like, "Oh man, Florida, this and that." But on the flip side, like when UConn won the women's and the men's tournament in the same year, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Within the back-to-back days, I think that is the coolest thing. Like, imagine if you were a student or you're like, hey, like we're going to go celebrate this win. Oh, by the way, we're going to postpone it 24 hours because we're going to go back-to-back.
We're going to double up on the party, and the city's going nuts.
But yeah, so shout out to them. I mean, first title for UConn since 2016. I don't think they're done because Sarah Strong is by far the best freshman. She looked like the best player on the court, and I can't believe that it was her first year. So I don't think that UConn's going away anytime soon.
Not at all.
But I just wanted to get back to your Warriors. So you're looking at the 6th seed right now, but you are a dead tie actually for the 4 seed. So Clippers, Nuggets, Warriors, Grizzlies, all tied at 47 and 32, with Timberwolves full game back. That's it. I mean, you've got three games left,
something like that. And like, how competitive is this West Conference? Like, the stretch of games that I was in San Fran for, the Warriors played the Lakers Thursday night, they played the Nuggets Friday, and then they had to turn around and play Houston on Sunday, and they won 2 out of 3 of those games. So the 6th seed, yeah, sure, but as you said, there's 4 teams I'm looking at here, all tied with 47 wins.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. You look at, like, the Grizzlies fired their coach last week. Denver fired their coach and GM yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yep.
If you're going off of those two, then Gold State could climb. I mean, they could get as high as the 4 seed and have home court for that opening matchup. So let me ask you this, then, as a Warriors fan, who do you not want to play in that first round?
I as a Warriors fan, I don't think you want to play LeBron that first round. I think screw all the other teams. I think you don't want to play LeBron first. I'll be honest, first or second, but it might crumble that way. I think if you got a chance at beating him and just his master tactics, in addition to Luka, it's got to be a championship sort of situation where your boys are also playing championship on the line.
Sure.
Not that they're not in round 1 or 2, but some of those young guys maybe not been there before. Like, I was talking to my mom about it, and Hughes the other night too. It's like you saw what Houston did to Curry. They put the grippers on him. You can't do that for 7 games though.
No.
So that's where the veteranship, the wisdom comes into play, and you've got different tactics for different situations. Up 1, all right, we're going to do this, or down 1, they put the grippers on Curry, so we need a little bit more out of Podziemski and Green. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think LeBron's wisdom goes way beyond that of anyone else. I think he's one you want to stay away from, especially when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get up to, obviously the 4 seed would be great. That would mean that you're hosting probably LA or maybe Denver. But then the issue is then if you win that, I know you don't want to look past an opponent, but if you do win that opening round, then you're looking at Oklahoma City in that Western semis.
Which is a dangerous squad. That's a dangerous squad. So,
but they haven't. Yes, dangerous squad. They haven't proven it at the playoff level yet. They could win the whole thing this year, right? I'm not going to put it past them, but they haven't done it yet. So if there's a team that maybe you guys have the vets, have the experience, have championship pedigree, could you go out and surprise somebody? Maybe that's the team. I do agree. I think running into LeBron is a problem. Because he's going to find a way. Him and Luka will find a way to make it happen. Whoever they get that opening matchup, it'll be a gentleman's sweep 4-1.
Yeah.
It'll be like, why did we come here?
San Francisco, Coit Tower, uh, Steph Curry, don't matter. Lakers at 5.
Yeah. Golden Gate, who? Yeah, done.
Yeah, Lakers at 5.
It's my Knicks, man. My Knicks are in a similar spot. We've been locked in basically all year at the 3 seed, which is it's exciting, right? If you told me preseason that you're going to have the 3 seed and you probably wouldn't even have too much competition for it, but wow, that's so exciting. But we are eons away from the Clevelands, the Bostons, and the Oklahoma Cities, and that scares me because I think a healthy New York team right now would be us against Detroit. I think we take care of Detroit, no problem. Maybe it's a good game, but I think Detroit's still probably maybe 1 year away with the youth that they have. But that second round matchup would be against Boston, and the game last night was good, right? We took them into overtime, but we're not getting past. I'm not going to be delusional here and sit like, bro, we got them. It's fine. It'll be a fine season, but you don't make the trade for Mikal Bridges or for Cat without thinking that you can get past those top 2 teams in the East. Right. And it is what it is. Part of me is already like, we'll see. If you get past Detroit, then at least you win another playoff matchup and you kind of keep that that rhythm of success going in the postseason. But you could tell me here, hey, Boston and Cleveland will go in the Eastern Finals, and I could see either team winning it, and I could see either team winning the whole thing. So to be stuck on as that third best is a small reward.
Yeah, that's not bad. And Boston's going to turn it up a little. And then the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs been lighting it up. So tough matchups. I think if you don't have them round 1 or 2, which as it stands, it won't be that way. And you can keep your other games from going to 7. You stand a good chance with healthy legs to try to take them to 7, just like what the OT.
Yeah, and that kind of has to be. The only other team I can see in the East, maybe Milwaukee, right? I don't want to count out Giannis on anything. And maybe Indiana did have a good run last year, but then they ran into Boston and fell flat. So I do think that more likely than not, if it's not coming from Cleveland, Boston, or Oklahoma City, it's probably coming out of the West for who's going to win the whole thing. I think that's my guess. Right, if Oklahoma City were to fall in the playoffs, I think whoever's going to emerge from the West probably takes it.
Fair. Whatever team climbs that OKC hurdle hill right there.
Okay, if you could tell me LA, you could tell me Houston, you could tell me Denver, Golden State goes on a hot run, I would believe it because that'd be a damn good. I'm excited, man. Playoffs are going to be good this year. A bunch of good teams.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Let's see. So NBA stuff. We talked about the NCAA tournament. What else do you have here? Because the only other thing that I really wanted to touch on is baseball's back.
Baseball is back, and just a quick Ovechkin passed the leading goal score, Wayne Gretzky. So just a quick shout out, that's incredible, and I think it's even more awesome that Gretzky was, he was in attendance, and there was a video from years, whenever he broke the record, he was like, yeah, I would hope someone beats it, and I hope I live to see it, so that way I can be there to shake their hand, and he was there to shake his hand for that moment, which I think was awesome. So congrats to Ovechkin, and he's not done. How high is he going to set that record? Is he going to hit 9? Is he going to?
What's he at now? He's at 8.
He was like 895 or 896 past it. Something like that.
I guess you got to consider how many more years does he have? Or even if you told me he was going to play through maybe 3 years, Right, let me look him up real quick.
I think if you put 3 on it, I think even if you put 1 on it, he gets to 9-10 at least.
Because he's 39, but by the time the next season starts, he'll be 40, which is a crazy stat. But I mean, Yager did it for longer than that. Yager was early 40s when he finished. Let's see here. All right, so if you had to tell me how many goals do you think Ovechkin has this year? Hockey's such a fun sport. I mean, no idea how many goals he has.
I have no clue. Okay, help me out here. How many games do they play?
82. 82.
They played.
It's the same as
NBA.
Same as the NBA. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, 82. He probably. I'm gonna put him at like 35.
42 goals.
That was the ballpark.
Which is that's a crazy number. He's also scored in his last. Oh boy, this is how you know he really wanted this record. He has scored a goal, at least a goal, in his last 5 games.
Yeah, that's moxie right there. That's what we call that. That's grit.
He said, "I will take that record."
I'm taking it. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if you're going to go off of, let's say he averages 35 to 40, then he'd have to go 3 more full seasons to hit 1,000. Which that's just a nice round number. I don't know if I put it past him. 1,000 goals is crazy. Like, that's not a real number.
No. I don't think I'd score a goal if I hit a puck 1,000 times.
Oh, now that you brought that up, did you remember it made its rounds? I think it was Twitter or Instagram, whatever, a couple years ago, and it said, which is the hardest to do, and it was score a goal in hockey, hit a home run. I want to say for football it was complete a pass in an NFL game, which sounds terrifying. Scoring a penalty kick in soccer, or hitting an NBA 3-pointer.
I think.
I couldn't even stand on the ice, so I don't.
Yeah, I can't skate. So for me, it would have to be hockey. Now, if you would assume, okay, you're just kind of average at everything, because like for me, I would say completing a pass in an NFL game. If I don't die, right? Like if I, like so long as they don't have a blitz package with Myles Garrett and someone else coming off the edge, like I might be able to complete that pass. Might. If we're assuming coach isn't going to pull me until I complete that pass, I'm completing that pass. Hitting a 3, I don't want to say that's easy, but
it might be the easiest.
Quick pick and roll action, catch and shoot. I'm going to make one of those. I never hit a home run in baseball. I did stop playing when I was about 11. Not saying that's an excuse. I definitely had people I played with that hit home runs. I wasn't there for dingers. I'm low and on the ground. I'm on first base, dusting off my cleats before you make the throw. That was my specialty. So it's not going to be the dinger for me, but the hockey for sure. Like, there's no way you get it in that net with that big ass goalie and all the pads. That's my thing.
No, I'm with you there. I would think I probably have the size advantage in football. I could probably complete a pass. It's going to sound crazy. I feel like I could complete a pass. Soccer, I feel like would be no problem.
Check me. I
can see over. Not that I can see over my 6'8" center, but I can see over some of the players out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think hitting a home run is the craziest thing in sports.
Yeah, the probability of hitting the ball, period, first of all.
The fact that if you hit the ball 3 times out of 10, it still has to make its way past a defender, and you still have to make it to first base. And if you bet 300, you're a Hall of Famer. Like, that's...
I guess, I might have to change my answer now, because if we're talking proportional circumstances, you're on a professional field. I'm not touching those fastballs.
No. And you're not even getting lucky. I'm swinging in the dirt.
No. And then I'm looking like a fool, like it's Nintendo Wii baseball when you throw a changeup on it. I'm swinging 2 or 3 times at it. So it might be that. Might have to give some respect to baseball.
Yeah, I do have to shout out. I recently started coaching the middle school girls softball team.
Okay.
We won our first game today.
Hell yeah.
19-5.
Oh, so it wasn't just a win. That was a shit stomping.
But it was our first win of the year.
A dub's a dub.
I'm going to take it. That's exactly.
Can we know how many games?
We were 0-3, so 1-3 now.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. It's only a 10-game season though, so it's like, all right, like we turn it
around. We can turn it around.
Yeah, 20 hits. I think we had 14 stolen bases. Like we were all over them today.
Someone call the police.
So shout out to the ladies.
Hell yeah.
No, but yeah, I think that's always a fun exercise. Of like, what's the one thing that you think you're delusional in that you're like, no, you know what? I could block Myles Garrett. I'm like, no, you could not.
No, you can't. You can't. Myles Garrett's going to run a hole through your chest.
I do think I'm probably like that with like kicking a field goal. Like if you told me, hey, 35-yard field goal NFL game, I'm like, all right.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You do that. You do, honestly, I'm not throwing any shade anywhere, but if you hit just warm-ups just to get used to kicking the football and the angles and the wind and stuff, you'd be able to hit a 35-yarder.
Got me out here reconsidering, man.
I kicked a little in high school. My unofficial long is 48.
There you go.
Out at practice. Just, kicking around. Only kicked PATs in like a couple games, though. Good. They wouldn't let me do anything else. They put in Johnny. Let him kick the real stuff.
I don't know, man. Kicking in football, I would say punting, too. Like, if you were a solid punter, you got a job somewhere.
It's fun. I did that.
But obviously, you're a little exposed in case that you don't handle that snap, you're getting crushed. But if you can...
No, you don't handle the snap, you send it. Go yard.
Take it I don't want the ball. You please, Myles Garrett. It's your ball now. I don't want it. Do you remember the old Madden mini games?
A little bit.
Like the coffin
like you'd
punting?
have the coffin punting, the running, like trying to pin it in the corner.
Yep, and you had how close you got to like the that corner where the end zone is to the sideline. Oh my goodness,
that was the fun part of punting to me because like in game, it's like I don't want that dude catching the ball. Like I ran track against these guys in the spring. I'm not punting to them; they're faster than me.
Right,
no chance.
I'm gonna put it out of bounds.
Way over there, way over there where you can't touch it. Out of bounds at the 5.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And then when 2K used to have I'm showing my age here. When 2K used to have, it was just you. It was like open gym. It was just you in the gym, and you could work on your shots, you could work on your dunks, whatever. But you had to what were those different things you could do for like a dunk contest? You could toss the ball up to yourself, or you could throw it off the backboard, or you could work on whatever that timing was. Oh man, that was to me that was more fun than playing online. Oh my gosh, because it's like, all right, I missed. Oh, it just resets, and I'm back at the top of the arc. Those were good because those are not, to me. I'm never gonna be able to do that in real life. It's just fun to get to see you do it on a video game. I did download
a little 6 foot. Get a little 6 foot goal. Go out there and do some stuff.
I mean, yeah. I got all the way to when I was in college. I could dunk a tennis ball, and I was like, I made it in life. I'm good.
I made it.
If I lost my knees tomorrow, I can hold on to this.
We had I took a couple gym classes over summer just to fill some credit hours. One of them was basketball, and in the gym we had that it was our IM gym. There were stickers on all the backboards that said no dunking, no dunking. I went for it, of course.
Of course you did.
And I had been going at it for 10 minutes or so. We had somebody on FSU's scout team in that class too. He was dunking, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this before we leave this gym. I'm up in the air, and I'm like, oh, this is it. I got it. And I go to yam it, and an administrator walks in right as I'm doing it. Yammed it, landed hard, and I was like, all right, I did it. And he looked at me, he said, you come with me. And I was like, worth it.
Absolutely.
Worth it.
I would be sitting in the office like, hey, can you also send me the footage from inside that gym?
Yeah, you got cameras in there? Because I want to see that.
Yeah, don't delete that. I want that. Showing that like at a first date, like, look, this is me.
Yeah.
We have our middle school, our teachers versus students basketball games coming up next month. So, what do we do? 2 of the quarters are the ladies, 2 of the quarters are the guys. And last year, we had one of the English teachers, one of the women on the team, I think she scored like 12 points in 5 minutes. Like, just went off. Steal, bucket. Like, unbelievable. And they ended up building us enough of a lead that I think the boys, I think they outpaced us like by 4 or by 6 points over the course of the whole game. Mm-hmm. But the women had given us enough of a lead that we ended up still winning. So now they're talking all this smack, and it's like, oh yeah, what if it was just you guys? And it's like, oh well, we got good teammates. Like,
we can run it. We can do something on the side.
I mean, look, we have the size. They have the athleticism. I will say this year they've got a kid who's 6'5" and a kid who's 6'4".
So you don't have the size anymore.
Well, we've got one of our deans is 6'5".
Okay.
Who plays like Jokic. Like, he's just, the touch he has, it's nuts. I mean, he is just like smooth with the ball too.
Does he stumble down the court like all of his joints are misplaced too? Because it looks like it's painful for Joker to run.
But once you're kind of there, he's like, hey, I'm good now. Yeah, no, I think that's too funny. Yeah, I don't know. Basketball's one of those sports, like, if you ever wanted to play at that level, athletic freak, and have, like, the genetic luck, you have to be so talented.
Yeah.
Because, like, Brunson is short, but he's so talented. And there's so many guys that are like that. Like, oh, yeah, I can be 6'1", I can be 6'2", but I've got enough talent to keep up with LeBron or Doncic or whoever.
Like your Currys, your Kyries.
Exactly.
Your Kimbas.
But yeah, so actually the conversation, it's funny, the kids were talking about it. Who is the worst? We'll start with the best number 1 pick in your eyes the last 10 years. Like, if you're doing a redraft of 2015 on, and let me actually pull them up for you.
I'm going to say I'm going to need a list here.
Okay, so here you go. So here are your last 10 years of number ones, in case you're doing a redraft. So obviously last year was Zachary Sachet, Victor Wembanyama, Paulo Banchero, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, Zion, DeAndre Ayton, Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, and Karl Anthony Towns.
I think if you're going off this list here, just the last 10, it's got to be Anthony Edwards. And I don't think there's any other conversation at this moment.
Over Victor?
Over Victor at this moment.
Okay.
At this moment. I think as far as just presence, I mean, we saw Victor the other night stuff a kid like he was playing basketball with the middle schoolers. A professional athlete, by the way. So that was funny. But I think right now, Edwards just has a little bit more under his belt. I mean, he's got 3 more years in the league, right? So, duh. But I just haven't seen. 3 more, yeah, I haven't seen anything too crazy out of Victor. And you're talking about Anthony Edwards, who's going toe to toe with Durant in the playoffs. So, at this moment, for me, it's Edwards.
So, I think with the circumstances of Victor, with the blood clots that had him sit sidelined for the end of this year, I probably have to agree. I think Banchero, too, was probably either Cat or Towns right after that. Just because I think Paulo's going to be He's going to be the goods, man. But I think a healthy Victor. This is my take before last year's draft was, I think if things go like up to where Victor's ceiling is, I think he could be the best NBA player ever.
Very high ceiling. He's got to reach it too, though.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, injuries suck. Doesn't help that he was on a bad team, but I think if he can kind of continue developing it, it's gonna be crazy. I like Ant because he's fun. He's just fun to watch. Like, did you see the what was it called, Go for Gold or whatever, the USA Basketball's the Netflix documentary from the Olympics?
I did not watch that.
You need to make some time.
Okay.
30-minute episodes, not too long. They cover Serbia, Canada, France, and the U.S. And they get it's like backstage. Like they're in the dressing room, they're at halftime, like they're doing all this sort of stuff. And to see how these guys are like preparing for it and how they're handling it is amazing to see. Because everybody hates the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, they're so arrogant, we can do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, one of the big guys who's talking about Evan Fournier is like, oh, like, they only trained together for 4 weeks and they think that they can beat us. We've been playing together for years. And, like, that was the quote, and then they cut to Kevin Durant sitting there. And he was like, yeah, have them come and try.
Yes.
And then it cuts to Durant, like, hitting 4 threes in a row.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see Anthony Edwards because he's like, the persona that he has on the court is actually just who he is. Like, he met President Barack Obama and was just having like a casual conversation with him, and everybody else is like, oh, what? He's like, yeah, that's just who he is.
Yeah, I'm him.
I think the thing about Victor though is the whole France team talked about him like he's God. Like, guys who have played on that team for years and have won and had highs and lows and whatever, like, they're like, oh yeah, this kid's gonna take us like where we want to be.
Take us the distance here.
I don't know, but yeah, I think that I agree with you though. That's not a bad list. So I guess going to this year, who are you taking one?
Has everyone we're thinking of declared, like Clayton, Broom?
That's a great question. Let's see.
Like, are they returning? You know, Clayton's a freshman, right?
No, Clayton was a senior.
Okay, I'm ignore me. Shows how much I keep up with Florida.
He might. He was actually, the funny story for him. I was reading about it. So he was a football player, and he had no offers for basketball, but he had like 6 or 7 for football, and he ended up going for basketball anyways to try it out. And he went to Iona and played under Pitino.
Yes,
and Pitino said he was lazy, out of shape, lazy. This and that.
I did see that quote, something about nothing special. And,
yep. But he's a great passer, or whatever the quality is.
Yeah, he can pass.
Yeah. And then he obviously transfers, goes, and wins the national title. So let's see here. So I've got these are players that. Oh, actually, here's your mock draft. How about that?
Yeah, I just found one too. Flagg, Harper, Bailey. I'm not saying that name. Asparas, Jack. Oh, no, man. No way. I'm not saying that. Edgecombe, Murray, Queen, Knipple.
I think that's Newpel. Newpel. I don't know.
The commentators kept saying Knipple, so I was like, okay. Sure. That's how I'll say that.
Kasparis Yakusionis. Wow, that's...
All right. I know, in light of recent events, I'm not necessarily taking Flagg first.
Really?
I'm not.
Okay, who are you taking?
I'm looking at these names. I don't know if there's anyone out here that could trump him, in which case you might be stuck picking him first.
You're not a believer, is what you're saying.
Not right now. Not
Okay.
right now. And I'm not just saying that because he missed the last shot. I'm not just saying that, but like I said, their last 10 minutes of gameplay, they didn't make a shot, and like somebody has to. And when you have droughts like that, you need your guy to get you out, and he couldn't in the way that Clayton Jr. could, or was, and did.
I hear you.
Now, I'm not saying that makes Clayton Jr. a first round draft pick, or the first pick in the first round.
Sure. I guess my thing is, I mean, he'll be the youngest player. I think he just turned 18. Like he will be the youngest player in the draft. I'm trying to look at the rest of the first round here. I actually don't see Clayton
like 30 going on.
Yep. Sports Illustrated has him going 28th to the Celtics, which like they need that. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard his name before the tournament. He wasn't popping up on my radar. Not that I'm necessarily like ears to the ground, but you have a hot run like that, sure, you helped your draft stock.
Oh, absolutely. If he wasn't on anyone's radar before that second round, he definitely was on him after that.
I see. I think the thing with, I would still take Flagg first. I don't think he's, well, I don't know. The term is like generational. I think he is a very, very good player with a generational ceiling. And I think he showed us that he's a very, very good player who is still 18 years old.
Yeah.
Now, like you said with Victor, if he can take those steps and work with an, I mean, again, he's been at Duke not even a full year. He's been at Duke for 8 months. So I don't necessarily fault him for that, but he's going to go 1. I don't love the idea of him going to somebody, like if he goes to Utah or to Charlotte, I'm like, he's not going to be as good, or even New Orleans. But who knows? I mean, we'll see. We've seen bad players get drafted all the time and still work out.
Yeah, and I mean, we said the same thing in the NFL. Like, a good player going to a bad team, I believe Weitzner said it, like, that's not setting them up for success there. So even if he does go 1 to a team like that, like, what's that going to do for him specifically? I think it actually hinders their chances to reach that high ceiling that we're talking about.
That's fair. I mean, I think I had a hot take that I would love to run by you. If I am the Oklahoma City Thunder, I am trading with the Utah Jazz. I am giving them 10 first-round picks for number 1. And I'm taking Cooper Flagg.
Just to kind of solidify your future.
Be a cheap talent because everybody else on that team's been paid. So now you're looking at, you already know, like you have somebody who's on a cheap contract for 4 to 5 years that extends that window for you. And I think that in case you do need to move one of your guys that have been paid to free up some money, you have that next kind of cheap. Because if they keep winning, all their picks are going to be at the end of the first round.
Yeah.
So you have this stockpile. Let me actually see if I can find it on. Okay, so here's what they have right now. This is a crazy list. So buckle up here. So this year they have 4 first round picks. Granted, 3 of them are protected. So Miami's is protected, Philly's is protected, Utah's is protected, and then they have swapping rights with either Houston or the Clippers first-round picks. They have a second. Next year they have their own first. 2027, they have a first from Denver. They have a first from the Clippers. 2028, they have a first from Dallas. 2029, they have a first from Denver. 2030, they have their own, and then 2031 they have another first round pick. It's like For what? If your team is set, what do you need all these extra picks for? I'm calling up and I'm saying, hey, choose your ones. I don't care which ones you pick, but we want.
I want your yeah.
And the thing is, like, I actually don't think that's an awful deal because if I am Utah, and hey, we are in total rebuild mode. Give me all this. Let me fill out my roster with all this young talent so I can pick up the Clayton Juniors or the Derek Queens or the VJ Edgecombs. And I'm looking at 5 years of now building my team together. Like, Oklahoma does not need that.
Yeah.
And I understand why they built it, but now they're looking at an excess.
That benefit Utah, they can have that, 4 to 5 years of, we'll call it, cheap talent, as you said, and then they got money left over. They can look at some trades, get an all-star in there to teach these young guys and to, maybe make a playoff run or two. And not now, but a few years from now, which is what they're looking at anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to see their roster real quick. Okay, so Oklahoma City, let's see. So you're looking at, Shea's making $35 a year. Ike Hart is making $30 million a year. I did not realize that. Lou Dort's making 16. Isaiah Joe making 12. Chet Holmgren's only making $10 million for the next 2 years. But that's going to shoot up.
Yeah.
After 2 years. They locked in Aaron Wiggins at $10 million a year for the next 5. And then he'll get expensive. Who else is on here that's going to make some money? I would say that's maybe Jalen Williams as well, but I would say that's it right now. But when you look at that Shea deal that expires in 3 years, and when that Chet contract expires in 2 years, and they're already over the first apron. And the second apron, where's that second apron at? They basically don't have any money, is what it is. So what they're going to have to decide is, do they just keep running it back, especially if they don't win this year? That's when I think they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, so Shea in his third year is making 40, and Chet won't be paid yet. So yeah, I'm taking cheap talent. Give me the best guy on the draft. I can pay him a couple $1 million a year for the first couple. By that point, you're probably looking at Shea's probably an MVP perennial guy. Maybe you can pay Cooper Flagg as well. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Or if they're where are they picking? Let's see. I don't know the draft order for these guys.
I'm gonna take a thon real quick.
Because if they're picking late, they might just kind of cross their fingers and hope someone like Clayton falls.
Right now they're looking at 30.
They're at 23. It looks like the OKC.
Oh, that's from the LA pick. That's from the Clippers. But then they're also picking 30. Oh, I guess that's the swap. No, you're right. So yeah, so they're swapping up from 30 up to 23.
Okay, yep, I do see that now. 30 has him with Johnny Broom. And this mock has Clayton Jr. at 28. There's some steal opportunities here and there. Oh, Brooklyn's got back-to-back. That's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, 26, 27. And they already have one at 18 too. So they've got 3 first-round picks. Yeah, but Brooklyn's another team. They need that.
Indeed. After the big 3 failed.
Yeah, failed because they didn't win a title, but it was fun while it lasted.
It was.
I'm trying to see what else here. Yeah, that's the only thing that really interests me. The only other thing I could see, Atlanta's got 2 first-round picks right now. It would be 14 and 25. Washington gets their top 10 and looks like 22 right now. and Miami gets their own pick, and they get a pick from Golden State. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you got a couple games left. The whole standings will be wrapped up. I think it's by next weekend. I think is the last game, and then you'll kind of know where these teams are going to slot in. Let's take Golden State for an example.
We're going to get to see all of the finals too. That'll definitely decide what kind of moves these teams are making. Because if OKC comes in and goes out round one,
they got to change something. They can't do that again. You can't run that back one more time and think it's going to be different.
No salty run back for that. They were number one the whole time.
Babe, there was talk when they were going on those 12 games unbeaten, 14 games unbeaten. There was talks of, can they hit 70? Which would be, I think, the third or fourth team ever to hit 70 wins. And they're going to come up short, but not by much. But it's just crazy that they've had this kind of run to not go on and at least, make the finals, right? Sure, if you lose, you lose, but give us a reason to think that you're legit.
Right. And not for nothing, last team I know that hit 70 lost 3-0. Or they got reverse swept. They were up 3-0.
Yeah, that was rough. I wasn't going to bring it up. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So I'm looking at Golden State here. So some crazy numbers, man. So Steph Curry's making $55 a year. Jimmy Butler's making $48 a year. So there's $100 million of your payroll gone. Next highest, Draymond's making $24. Nobody else on the team is making $10 million.
And that, at least for Podziemski, that's going to change because that dude can ball.
Same with Kuminga. Same with Looney.
Like those guys can ball.
Those Looney expires this year. Kuminga expires this year. Podziemski still has 2 more years after this one finishes, so there's still time. But they're on the second April. They don't have money to spend. So let's say if Golden State wants to run this back next year, they can't, because those guys will be gone. There's no way to pay them the money that they will be earning. So what do? Do you turn around and trade Jimmy Butler again?
Jimmy Butler for Klay Thompson.
No. Well, let's see. Who has what would it take? What would it take for you guys to take that number 1 pick away from Utah? I'm just curious now.
Depends on what Utah wants to scratch for.
Let's see. Let's take that number 1 pick away from Utah. I'm just curious now.
Depends on what Utah wants to scratch for.
Let's see. Let's see if it'll even let me trade. If it's going to yell at me and say, no, you can't do that.
You can't. No, that's... nobody's doing that.
You thought you could do that?
Yeah, no way.
This actually won't even let me trade with Utah for their first round pick. Let's try... Let's see if I can do the Wizards. I can do the Wizards. Okay. So I want the Wizards' first round pick.
I don't know what we take from there that we need.
Well, yeah, I have a guy by the name of Jordan Poole who used to live out on the West Coast.
Maybe. I feel like there were... May not be true. I feel like there was a little internal turmoil there with Poole.
Oh, you think so?
Nah, maybe a little.
I think if...
Maybe came to fist blows somewhere.
Fisticuffs, yeah.
Yeah, somebody.
All right, so I've got. Let's see if I can push this one through. if it'll let me. So I did Jimmy Butler traded for the first, or I guess it would be the number 2 or 3 pick for Washington, plus Marcus Smart and Jordan Poole to make the money work. So that gets you 2 for 1 player, and you're getting a high pick, but you do lose Jimmy Butler, who is having a much better season than either of those two guys.
I don't know if I like that. I also really like Jimmy Butler. Could be just me. I would love to see some results after acquiring him. Whether that's this year or the next, who knows? Who knows if he's even around next year or the year after. But I think he definitely has it in him. And with the way Pazicki's playing he led the team in points. He's consistently the number 2 scorer. Having Jimmy to relieve some stress so Steph can hit the sideline or having it both on the court there is kind of a nasty threat.
No, you're not wrong.
But, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can't keep running it back with the same squad.
No, but did you come into this year expecting them to win the whole thing?
Not necessarily, no.
So I think from that perspective, I think it's it's kind of a nice surprise.
Yeah, considering we were fighting for a playoff berth not a month and a half ago.
I don't know. I talked about it before when I was going over what that trade looks like, and it's funny to see the two teams kind of go in opposite directions because Miami's 8 games under 500. This is the team that was in the NBA Finals twice in the last 4
Something
years?
like that, yeah.
Granted, I know it was with Jimmy, but the team is still there. The coach is still there. You didn't fall apart just because you traded him, but it seems that way. But then you look at, like you said, the reverse fortunes of Golden State, of that crazy run that they went 15 out of 17 or something crazy like that, and all of a sudden you're looking from the play-in to they might be able to lock up home court now as a 4 seed. So it's funny how these trades. Again, you could even extrapolate over what happened with the Lakers and Mavericks too. I think that this needs to be the biggest warning for these owners and these GMs. You do not need to trade your best player away.
Yeah, you guys got to start keeping them happy because that's your guy.
You are in the era of player empowerment. You are in the era of pay your best players, or like the Knicks are doing, right? If you have a superstar, bring his friends along. And I know, I get it. I know it's the Aaron Rodgers thing, but Jalen Brunson was 27, not 40. But bring the pals along. If your guy's happy, even if the Knicks don't win, I know that Jalen Brunson is happy. I know that he's happy that his friends are here. I know he's coming back next year. There's no question mark there. But then, you look at these quote-unquote disgruntled stars, and if you were to tell me right now, or if I were to ask you, where is James Harden playing next year?
He's bouncing to whatever team he thinks he can lead.
Right. So if you're a Clippers fan, you're like, oh, this is fun, but I don't know if this is the same roster makeup as next year. So we have to win now. We have to win every single year because we don't know. So I don't know. The NBA is fun because you can kind of look at that any given year because I think actually I'm going to turn this into a little question for you. Which team do you think has the longest playoff drought in the NBA?
Oh. Pull up my squads here.
There's 2 teams tied for second but the first place team is a couple years ahead.
Playoff drought. Is it the Hornets?
It is the Charlotte Hornets.
Let's ride. All right, that was number one.
That is number one.
The other two teams
2017 was the last year they made it, 8 years ago.
Oh. All right. You know what? No, I'm gonna guess and then ask for a hint.
Okay.
So my guess for one of the two second place teams. Is it the Magic?
It is not the Magic. We're actually in it last year.
Okay. Scratch that. I didn't say that.
You just cut that part out.
Yeah. So we're gonna edit that, right? Right. Production.
Yeah, in post. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's. It's definitely not the Sixers or the Nets or the Raptors. 2017 was John Wall still on the Wizards then?
Well, 17 was the Hornets. The other two teams were 2020.
COVID years. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I couldn't take.
Dark times.
Give me East or West.
One of each.
One of each. Oh boy. The Bulls.
No. Bulls
Shit.
for 2023.
Okay. One of each. Has it been that long for the Jazz?
Jazz were also 2023.
All right, I give up. Who is it?
It is the Detroit Pistons, which I do know they just ended that streak. I think it was last week or so. They clinched the playoff spot this year.
Yep.
And the San Antonio Spurs.
Really? Okay. I would have not have guessed that, but I guess Kawhi.
Yeah. Well, no, it was 2020, so it would have been after that. But
well, yeah. I'm thinking of the Kawhi injury.
That was
stepping in the zone. That was slightly before. That was like 18.
That was 18, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2020, that would have been DeMar DeRozan who was there. Dragging that team.
Wow. Trivia facts.
Yeah, I'm full of them. Also, I have the webpage in front of me, so that helps. But
Fair.
I think, I don't know. I think it's just to kind of circle back. It wouldn't surprise me if one of those three teams won the whole thing. But I do think there is a possibility that some of these other teams can come through and surprise some people.
It's the beauty of the 7-game series.
It absolutely is. So here's actually your Spurs last couple of years. This year, they're 32 wins. Last year, 22. Year before, 22. Year before, 34. Year before, 33. So they've not been close to 500 for the last 5 years.
Yikes.
But that's how you get a victor. That's how. Who else did they have? DeJounte Murray. Like, there were some draft picks that San Antonio had that have done all right. And actually, speaking of, they were getting blown out by your Warriors right now by 13.
Oh, really? Because we were down a half.
Oh, well, they turned that around quick.
We were down a decent amount of half.
Oh yeah, Golden State put up 35 in the third quarter.
Good Lord. Well, we love that because you can't be losing to bottom of the West looking to clinch home.
No, you cannot. Not with. I see Denver's up by 14. Clippers are down though. That'll be good for you.
Yeah, interesting. The Clippers did not, or I'm sorry, the Nuggets did not play Jamal Murray Friday night. Whatever.
He's still out.
Still out? Okay. Because I was like, I expected him to play. I hadn't been keeping up. I just assumed walking in versus Joker and Murray.
Yeah, he. Where is it here? Let me see his injury. He's been out. I know he's been back and forth. Yeah, he's had a hamstring injury.
Okay.
So he's been. That doesn't totally surprise me that he's been hurt for a little bit. He hasn't played since March 26th.
Good Lord. All right, that's fair.
So probably just hoping that they could just get him back healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Hopefully back for playoffs, yeah, I'm seeing that. Hopefully back for playoffs, yeah.
Because I thought I saw the dates. I think the play-in tournament starts, I think it's next weekend. Whoever, SoFi or whoever's sponsoring it now. But something's always on, man. Never stops.
Keeps going until basketball and NHL are off, and then it's just baseball all summer.
Yeah, not a bad thing. Baseball and golf.
I'll take baseball over golf.
You and me both. You got anything else?
No, I do not. Baseball's back. Stay in for that. My Reds are bottom of the Central, so we love that. All right, just, I guess last thing for me, what's your way too early MLB prediction? Who's winning?
My way too early, because the baseball season is actually like 6 months long, prediction. I think you'd be a fool to bet against the Dodgers right now. At least to come out of the NL. AL is interesting. Rangers have started hot. I don't know if anybody from AL East, which is traditionally a really good division, they're all kind of beating each other up right now. I think.
Yeah,
pulled up.
You're looking at the Blue Jays at 8-5, Yankees at 7-5.
Let me see here. Yeah, this is really the way too early predictions. I think you're looking at the Dodgers coming out, maybe the Phillies, Phillies for the NL, and I think you're looking at probably the. I don't think the Blue Jays are sustainable. I'm going to say the Rangers again. Let's go Rangers-Yankees.
Rangers-Yankees.
Yeah.
Phillies-Dodgers.
Yeah, and then I'm going to say the Rangers will take it this time, but the Dodgers do it again, and I think the Dodgers over Rangers in 6.
I like that.
Those just feel like the teams right now, and of course it's, you're looking at Atlanta's 2-9, which is crazy. Baltimore Orioles, who were this young upshot team for a couple years in a row, 5-8 right now. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with these teams? Takes one guy tearing an ACL or going down with Tommy John surgery.
Yep, completely changed the course of that season.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to revise that because Garrett Cole is out. So I don't know if the Yankees are going to be able to hold on to that. I'm going to go with. Let's go Toronto. Let's go Toronto Blue Jays.
Rangers, Blue Jays.
I'm sticking with the Rangers, though.
Phillies, Dodgers. You heard it here first.
There you go. I'll see you in 6 months.
Yeah, we'll check back in.
But no, man, that's it. I just wanted to catch up on a couple things. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
We'll check back in after Ovechkin hits the 1,000 goals.
Yeah, well, I'll check in for that, and then Kentucky Derby's coming up. So place your bets for Saturday in May.
Ooh, we might have to come on and rank the horses' names.
I'm definitely down to do that.
Okay, we'll have to do that.
Fun. Yeah.
And then actually see who wins, because I don't know a thing about horse racing.
I will be watching. I do not keep up with all the ins and outs and jockeys and owners and all that stuff, so I place blind, here's who I think is going to win. But I do watch it every year. It's a good pastime for me. So
nice. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I'll catch you later.
All right. Take it easy.